Hello and welcome back to a brand new video. Let's watch Death Battle. It's Scooby-Doo versus Courage the Cowardly Dog. Now this is going to be an interesting episode because I do know both of these two characters. What is there to say about these two characters? Well, they tend to be cowardly, that's for sure. They are pretty much scared of anything. Especially when it comes to Courage. Scooby-Doo at least do some things that, he has. Both of them actually have some brave moments, and I can't think about it. But when it comes to just these two alone, Courage is going against a lot of supernatural beings and that sort of thing. There usually is, sometimes there is, like, actual supernatural beings there. Well, Scooby-Doo is mostly just criminals dressing up as ghosts to get them. And then we'll have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids. And yeah, Scooby is usually not alone. He's usually always with Shaggy. And whatever Shaggy can do, Burmer Scooby can do everything. Okay, my power just went off. Okay, you get to experience that. Okay, I think it's because I have dinner cooking and my washing machine is on at the same time, so hold on a few seconds while I just get the power back on. Alright, I'm back, and let's try that again, shall we? I was thinking about just cooking dinner while I recorded this episode. I wasn't expecting this. Anyway, let's go try again. So, Scooby-Doo, I do know him quite well, actually. He is very associated with Shaggy. And even though he can be kind of scared, he tends to, dress up his costumes, to fool each of the monsters along with Shaggy. It's actually kind of fun to watch, actually. And Courage has also a lot of interesting things. I've not seen every episode for both of them. I think I've seen more Scooby-Doo than I have for Courage. But when it comes to Courage, he tends to be more supernatural beings. I remember an episode with about a spider, basically wrapping up his aunt and uncle, basically, or more than that, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And basically, yeah, I remember that episode being a little bit more, and Courage usually managed to get pretty well out of those situations, pretty well. I feel like Courage has this one. I want Scooby-Doo to win, but I feel like Courage has this one. So I guess you just gotta go right into the analysis, and let's take it from there. Alright, so let's see the analysis. And let's play.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Shady Rays. Scooby-Doo.
Oh, wait. My screen's not recording. Hold on a few seconds. Now let's play.
Sponsored by Shady Rays.
Okay, I've been trying that again.
The miraculous mutt from Mr.
Will help a lot better if I actually record my screen.
The cowardly dog straight out of nowhere. Canis familiaris, man's best friend. The dog.
Yeah, they really are man's best friend.
Has stood by humanity's
both
side
of them.
as long or as loyally. Even and maybe especially these two yellow-bellied, lily-livered scaredy cats.
Oh, are you gonna use cartoon style? It looks like it. I was kind of hoping you would do that.
And skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Alright, let's see. Start with Scooby-Doo.
Same question time and time again. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Pretty much everywhere, from cartoons to comics.
Yeah, it is literally everywhere. He has video games, cartoons, movies.
Picture of all time. He's the greatest Dane since Hamlet.
And then they also have the whole cartoon business going for him too, I guess. I mean, he is not so extreme with that as, let's say, Bugs Bunny and those, but he does have that going for him, considering he's a cartoon character. Both of them actually has that.
Scoobert was adopted by the Rogers family and their prodigal gluttonous son, Norville, better known by his friends as Shaggy. Those friends
Shaggy is a cool character, though. I mean, name a more iconic duo than Shaggy and Scooby. Besides from Mario and Sonic. I mean, Mario and Luigi, Sonic and Tails, those.
United States in a cushed-up Volkswagen, foiling seemingly paranormal crimes and unmasking corrupt authority figures. All of whom definitely would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling kids and their dogs.
Yeah, I was expecting him to say that line. I did it earlier too.
Great Danes were bred by 17th century German nobility to hunt bear, boar, and deer, which means he's a master tracker. Scooby's super sniffer nose can beat out the bad guys no matter
Okej, för en moment top my voice wasn't recording. OBS does that sometimes. Never mind.
They stay in their prince's chambers and protect them from assassins. Such brave, fearless doggos. Too bad for Shaggy and the gang, the apple didn't just fall far from the tree. It defied the laws of Newtonian physics and rocketed into space at the speed of light. Because Scooby is an absolute coward.
Yeah, he is, but of course he's not much braver either, so...
Everything imaginable, and his only motivation is his delicious Scooby snacks.
Yeah, he could get, you know, anything for a Scooby snack. And Shaggy too, for that matter. And one thing they both love is food.
Sometimes called the power of positive assertion. Scooby flexes his mastery of disguise to fool would-be attackers, like seducing zombies as a belly dancer, or tricking a jester into entering an existential crisis. This man was so thoroughly convinced to rethink his entire life, he went all the way home and got into bed before realizing he'd been fooled. Obviously, these disguises shouldn't work at all, but Scooby's just so supernaturally talented, they just do. See, this is a perfect example.
Yeah, they just work, no matter what. It's kind of like Team Rocket, actually. With Jesse and James, Meow. They also are pretty monsters with no disguise. Doesn't matter, you know, we recognize them because, you know, it's us. But for everyone else, they're unrecognizable. That's right, it's terror time again. The monsters started being real. Yeah, I guess they have been against the real monster on a few occasions, but for the most part, it's usually a guy in a mask.
That's nothing. Shaggy's
in a costume.
Uncle, Albert Shackleford, upgraded those snacks with nanite technology, giving them a variety of different effects. Everything from invisibility, robotic armor, force field, super intelligence, and Panther! Yeah,
Panther?
Machines, dog, and we're just getting started.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Squash his body any way he likes, even duplicating himself or regenerating from damage. Like being shot.
Yeah, that's the cartoon physics I was mentioning earlier.
His soul was literally scared out of his body, and both his body and soul kept going at the same time. That doesn't make sense. He can appear in multiple places.
It doesn't make sense unless they're in a cartoon. There's a lot of cartoon characters that does exactly that.
Draw things into existence and mess with the plot of his own show. Things getting a little too spooky for him? He'll just cut to commercial break. He's also got weapons.
Yeah, that's true.
Spooker 3000, a gun that instills fear into the hearts of man. And no, not like an actual gun. It literally shoots fear. Or the chest.
Okay,
of
that's
demons.
interesting.
An arc containing 13 monsters.
You just get more fear and you have ammo for life, probably.
Be trapped within its grasp, your body
no, in the case of Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, they do have ammo for life. They have a lot of fear.
Undiscovered 10th circle of hell. Neat! Scooby-Doo has dodged laser beams and electromagnetic waves, survived being at the epicenter of an explosion that blew up time, and successfully performed the Zabriskie Triangle with Shaggy and Maddie Ziegler. The Zabriskie Triangle is a dance so unbelievably dangerous that even imperfect executions have caused widespread destruction. When performed perfectly, it was so beautiful it literally lit up the entire universe and blew up the enormous snow globe containing it. It makes sense if you watch the show. Actually,
yeah.
No, it doesn't. Taking this
yeah, maybe it doesn't.
We can measure the volume of the broken glass compared to the size of our entire cosmos within it. In order to shatter what is essentially an enormous glass superstructure, each dancer would have to be generating enough energy to destroy our universe 11 quintillion times over. That's right.
Oh wow. Okay, that's quite a lot.
Is a universe buster. With Scooby-Doo,
yeah, that is a danger to the whole multiverse.
Save the world from alien
or universe at least.
Wielded the power of a yellow lantern ring and was even made a member of the Mystery Analysts of Gotham by Batman himself. Yes.
Yeah, they crossed over with a lot of characters.
Detective recognizes Scooby's skills.
Probably more with Batman than everyone else, but they have crossed over with quite a lot of characters, I think.
God, and surviving its death, which rewrote all of reality. Yeah, you know, the talking dog that crossed over with the Harlem Globetrotters and Don Knotts defeated Satan. No biggie. So, where is Scooby-Doo?
No
He's
pressure.
Solving mysteries and saving the world with his found family. Also, he's an alien. Wait, what? we interrupt this program to bring you Courage, the Cowardly Dog Show, starring Courage, the Cowardly Dog. Abandoned as a pup, he was found by Muriel, who lives in the middle of nowhere with her husband, Eustace Bagg. But creepy stuff happens in nowhere. It's up
Yeah, a
to
lot of
Courage to
creepy
save
stuff.
his new home. Stupid Wiz, you made me look bad. Ooga booga booga! You're breathing on me. Get away. Sorry. But who wouldn't be excited for one of animation's mightiest mutts? Courage is an adorable pink beagle with a heart of gold and an undying love for his doting Scottish mistress. Beagles are hare hunters with intense separation anxiety, excellent senses of smell, and a set of lungs that'll knock your socks off. All of which fits Courage to a T, especially the howling part. To be fair,
Yeah,
Courage
definitely.
has a lot to howl about. Nowhere USA is a magnet for interdimensional weirdness, attracting some of the strangest freaks in the world. Like master criminals, cats, and LaQuack, mattress demons, mummies, weremoles, mad scientists, gods and goddesses, aliens, robots, alien robots,
Pretty much anything we
chicken,
could
the
think
king of
about.
Flan, and of course, the United States government. And poor Courage is absolutely terrified of all of it. But his devotion to Muriel means he'll always step up and fight the good fight. Good thing he's kind of a genius. He's a brilliant engineer capable of whipping up the most devious of traps almost instantly. And he's got an unending supply of tools at his disposal. Everything from his trusty mallet to grappling hooks, ray guns, flamethrowers, chainsaws, bombs, beagle-sized cannons, yo-yos, a mind control helmet, vampire hunting gear, and the God Bone.
Yeah, the God Bone. I heard about this one. But it doesn't really matter too much when it comes to Scooby, considering the only thing that gets his attention is, you know, Scooby snacks. In that way.
You can resist even the most delicious of
That episode I've seen.
And he can pull all of this stuff out of his ass anytime he wants. He always has exactly what he needs. All thanks to his computer named Computer. A sentient desktop which knows almost anything and everything, even if he has a bit of an attitude about it. Which means he's always prepared, especially when he can shapeshift his body into literally anything he can think of. From inanimate objects to monsters to different animation mediums entirely.
Dang, I didn't know that.
This is a form of charades to communicate with others, but don't get it twisted. These aren't just visual animation.
Okay, actually, no, I did know that. I would not recognize the transform into B. So I knew some of them, but not all of them.
Runs wild. He can stretch to crazy lengths, shrink to microscopic sizes, turn invisible.
It's been so long since I've seen that
anywhere
show,
he
so.
wants, or duplicate himself. He's also effectively immune to damage. Oh, he still feels pain, but apparently his sheer terror overrides it. Like the times he tore himself in half, or turned himself fully inside out. The dude
Damn.
somehow vaporized his entire body completely, without even ash remaining, and he just popped back good as new. Classic cartoon shenanigans, but technically anatomically correct. Until it isn't. Courage can create objects from his imagination and often breaks the fourth wall, directly addressing the audience. Now, you would think being an
You too,
impossible
huh?
to kill force of
I don't remember
nature
him doing
is
that, but I guess he doesn't
complicated,
do it
but
that
isn't
much
that
in the
what
show.
anxiety does to
Like
you?
something he did
It
once in a
undermines
while,
your
maybe.
sense of self-worth and magnifies the problems around you. Sure, but Courage is also fighting gods just as powerful as himself. Like this enormous alien which could spike meteors so hard it spun the Earth 1,000 years into the future. That's crazy. Then Courage got shot out of a cannon that punched him through the moon, only to get slapped by that same alien and sent crashing back to the planet. And he was fine. Courage is strong enough to physically patch up holes in the
Basically, he
ozone
says
layer,
no to
hold
damage.
stars
Considering
in
he's
his
immune to
hands,
damage,
and
he says
screams
no
so
to it.
loud, he shattered
Which is
the
not looking
sun.
good for
The
Scooby, because
scream
they
of
didn't
agony like
say
getting
anything
over
bad, but then again, he can
100 septillion
fight
hydrogen
alongside
bombs all
spirits,
at once,
basically,
which is,
so.
you know, a lot. And keep in mind, the sound waves of his scream would have had to travel through the near vacuum of space. Basically, a complete scientific impossibility. Next time you replace my beers in the fridge with LaCroix, I'm getting my boy Jack Spaniels to blow up the sun. You've been warned. That's not all. One time,
Yeah, I
he
guess
operated
Boomstick has a
proton
dog.
controlling a UFO and pedaled it fast enough to fly past Saturn, enter hyperspace, and cross the Milky Way galaxy. Though Courage's greatest challenge came from inside his very home. A monster who tortures his poor pooch every single day. A depraved, psychotic motherfucker. The true Prince of Darkness. The greatest villain in cartoon history. Eustace! He even collected all
Yeah.
of Courage's greatest foes like a legion of doom, all to mercilessly beat Courage to a pulp in a game of dodgeball. It gives all
He is an interesting character.
I want to end him low.
I remember one of his famous lines from Norwegian where he says, "Duste bikkje," which basically is dumb dog.
Cowardly monster hunting hound. Scooby-Doo. Oh yeah, I remember him. Together they discover the source of Nowhere's weirdness.
I guess they
A
had
dark
crossed over,
matter
huh?
meteor that controlled reality itself. Originally the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs. Its dark matter can rewrite the laws of physics, control minds, and turn Courage into a giant kaiju. Taking the meteor for himself, Courage finally faced his fears, defeating this cicada queen goddess thing and saving his family once and for all. Yes, even Eustace. Shit! So let that be a lesson to any who would encroach upon the Bag's humble farm. It has a protector. He may be small,
Yeah,
he may be
and he is a god.
standing up to our fears
Pretty
is what
much.
makes us brave in the first place. That's why his name is Courage.
Okay, so after watching this analysis, yeah, they both capable of a lot of stuff. Apparently, Courage is a little bit stronger than I remember him being. Shape-shifting, no to damage, yeah, pretty much immune to damage actually. Yeah, he's definitely a lot interesting than I remember. And then the whole, wow, both have some universe stuff going for them there. It's Scooby, you know, going his whole soul getting out of him and in them fighting along. So how his spirit, you know, yeah, they definitely have a lot of things going for them. Well, Scooby-Doo has a lot of like, things going for him when it comes to his costumes and dressing up and stuff. Without people noticing it is him, because it's Scooby-Doo, I guess. But yeah, I feel like I'm still leaning towards Courage here. I want Scooby to win. This could end up being another step out where we really don't have a winner. We haven't had one of those in a while. I'm not expecting it though. Courage, probably. So, yeah, I think Courage is the one who's going to win this one. I feel so confident about that one that I don't really feel like making this post-discussion very much longer than it needs to be. So, why don't just go right into that ball? Courage is going to win. I feel like that's pretty obvious for me right now. Though Scooby, you know, I want him to win, but dang, he has a lot of, you know, there's so much stuff he can do, but I feel like Courage has a little extra step above him. And they did cross over, which I didn't know, to be honest. I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of crossovers and stuff with Scooby-Doo, so it doesn't surprise me. Especially because seeing him at Batman. So, and probably there's some other stuff out there too. Like maybe we have met some Marvel stuff too. I don't know that for sure, so don't quote me on that. But it's definitely, yeah. Multiverses, say no to damage, cartoon physics. This really can go either way, but I'm guessing Courage. So let's see if I'm right or not. Alright, with that said, Courage is going to win, and let's play.
Alright, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities. It's time for a dog battle!
Yeah, dog battle.
When I say it like that, it sounds...
Sounds weird. Harsh.
Ariel? Ariel? Ariel! Maggie? Maggie? Maggie!
Damn, they're meeting an actual monster.
Disturbance program me. What do I do? What do I do?
Come on, Scooby, run!
Robert's got it! Robert's got it! Come on, come on!
I guess Scooby won that one. Yeah, the one that shows actual tier. Scooby had something like that too. Yeah, I was kinda expecting. I saw that coming. Another monster. Godzilla.
Oh, there's one more thing.
Big boy.
Okay, come on.
How to defeat a Great Dane with a speech impediment, eh? You twit.
Oh my god. Okay, we didn't see what actually happened. They actually watched this on the TV. That's nice to see.
All dogs love their bones, don't they?
True. The Scooby loves Scooby snacks more. And again, it does love all types of food, technically, so... Little all type of food.
This could be bad. My name isn't Chad James. And it's not.
Okay! I did not expect that to happen. Okay, I don't care who wins, this is actually a very fun battle.
Stupid dogs! You made me look
Of course it's him, of course it's him.
Ow! 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 Cut it out!
Well, Muriel, I hate that stupid dog!
There's no one died!
Who won?
Both of them won, technically, because they defeated the ghost.
Wasn't one of them supposed to die?
Not since the Great Norris Sancho Singularity event of 2015 have we had a result like this. It can't end like this, right?
Even with Courage's insane cosmic feats, you'd think the Zabrinsky Triangle would be enough to seal the deal. But both pooches could regenerate from basically any kind of physical damage.
Yeah, they're basically perfectly matched, aren't they?
Scooby was more of a
I
trickster
mean,
with his
it's a
dudes,
draw,
while
so...
Courage was a scheming genius. Computer could have given Courage the edge if not for their canon crossover, where it failed to have solid information on Scooby and the gang.
So I guess it came down to their unique abilities. And for 90% of their arsenals, they were evenly matched. Transmutation, mind control, you get it. They're tunes with basically anything, except for the Chest of Demons and the Dark Matter Meteor.
Sure, the chest could theoretically always trap Courage, but he'd always be able to escape and destroy it with the Dark Matter Meteor.
But Scooby could repair the damage by reversing time and then trap him again.
And then Courage would break out again. You know where this is going.
It'd be an endless
This
cycle.
battle between man's best friends would never end.
But this is a death battle. Somebody has to die.
Someone did, Wiz.
Yeah, someone did die.
Someone did.
Did anybody tell you that you're kind of scary sometimes?
I don't like dog killers.
Scooby and Courage
Who
were
does like
incredibly
dog
tough
killers?
opponents that could go blow for blow for blow. They were smart, powerful, and incredibly broken.
Doggone it, Wiz. I guess you could say Eustace had one hell of a rough day. I shih tzu not. Oh, whew, those were powerful.
Stop. This battle is a draw.
Yeah, for the first time since Sega versus Sanshiro.
Hi, I'm Ben, the voice of Wiz. Thank you so much for watching. We are about to announce the next
That's
episode.
not right.
Before we do that,
Since
if you're not a Death Battle
Chuck
member
Norris
yet,
versus
join down below.
Sanshiro
Support your
is what I meant. Okay, so who's next? Well, it's Doctor Who versus, yeah, Rick. You know what? I'm gonna start talking about the next one. Who is the better perfect match for Doctor Who and Rick from Rick and Morty? Who is a perfect match then? The Doctor versus Rick. I'm not sure how I've never thought about this before, but it makes perfect sense. I've never seen any of the shows. Well, that's not true. I've seen a few stuff here and there. And I saw, for Doctor Who, I saw the episode where, you know, with the angel thing, and every time you blink, the angel comes closer to you, sort of thing. And, which is a very old episode by now. And Rick, you know, I've seen clips here and there. People use clips from the show every once in a while and that sort of thing. It's impossible to not see anything. So, yeah, I'm not familiar with either of these two characters that much. I know the Doctor has gone through many different phases. That tend to be how he tends to regenerate himself, I guess you could say. I guess Rick has done something similar. It's possible, I guess. But this could be a very interesting one. I am not sure what to say right now, but I feel like because Rick is a cartoon character, he has that going for him, so it might be him. It's just based on, you know, what I'm feeling about it right now. But this time, we did have Scooby-Doo and Courage, and this was an amazing death battle. You know, I really was thinking about this, because it was a lot of stuff they had. You know, they both perfectly counter each other. But I still felt like Courage had a little step above it. But I guess it technically doesn't. I mean, he could... Yeah, Scooby can trap him in the chest. Courage can get out. Do whatever he needs to do then. Scooby go back in time. It's an endless cycle. So who really wins is whoever doesn't get tired first, I guess? But then again, wow. This was a great episode. I love the animation for this one. I was hoping they would do something like this in the animation style. Just because, you know, they are two cartoon characters. It makes sense to do this cartoony style in the animation. And I'm glad none of them die, because I didn't want to see either of them die. I can't talk. I didn't want to see either of them talk. I didn't want to see either of them die, is what I meant to say, and I'm glad both of them survived. So yeah, they're perfectly matched, and that's nice. Wow, it really has been a long time. Segata and Chuck Norris was really the last time. You see, you know, that's interesting actually, because usually we have a winner, but in this case we really don't. The winner is, well, both, I guess you could say, because they did kill the monster. So it's turned out to be the old man. Somehow I'm not surprised they did. Somehow I'm not surprised they did that. Like, not at all. But this was an amazing episode. I truly love this episode. You know, this is actually very high up there. It might be my favorite death battle right now. At least in terms of this animation style, in the cartoon style one. If I look at all overall, I don't know. I think it might be very close up there. I really love this episode, so, you know, especially because I love both the characters and I have a lot of collection for both of them. So, collection is my month. So yeah, they are both amazing characters, and I'm glad none of them died. So yeah, that was amazing, and I don't think I have anything else to say. This was just such a great episode. I don't think I'm gonna drag this out any longer. Already talked about who's next, and I'm still leaning towards Rick might have this one. But we'll wait and see once I see their analysis and stuff. Because I know I seen a couple of episodes or so with Doctor Who when he was about to die and then he changed the face and he can live longer. Which is how they change the actor, basically. So, yeah. I assume it's the same way every time. Might be different every time, I don't know. But, unless you're using only one specific version of the Doctor, you know, like the one we saw, the face affair, that's possible. Because I know the Doctor has gone through different phases, so it's possible they only go through one of them. But then again, I'm not expecting them to do that, because it will make more sense to go through the Doctor as a whole, especially if you do the same for Rick. I think it's gonna be interesting that battle though. Rick is going to win. I feel like it's right now. But then again, once I see an announcement next time, I might change my mind. So we'll see. But let me know what you thought about this episode by posting down in the comments below. And is this your favorite so far? Because I'm feeling like it might be my favorite so far. I might have to think it for a bit. But I feel like it's very close up there. It's very close up there, if it's not my favorite. because it's so many great episodes, and this one is so good in my opinion. I did really enjoy this one, so there's that. But yeah, I think that's that. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, that is, let's see, October 20th. Huh. Super Mario RPG remake releasing around the same day. I think it releases on the same date. That's interesting too, I guess. I'll see you guys next time. Ministry 2 signing out.